Hi, I was just teaching and I wanted to say hi. And the reason I want to say hi, let me turn you around a little bit so I'm not leaning. The reason I wanted to say hi is because, yeah, I teach from home sometimes in the current climate where you've got people who are self-isolating because of exposure to coronavirus, or people who have low immune systems, people who are just trying to be careful. Sometimes teaching in person is just not possible or not practical. So I do still have a lot of students that want to do video lessons, and video lessons are a different feeling, most definitely. So there's pros and cons. I prefer in-person lessons for my feedback from the student. I can see more, I can understand more of what's going on. It's a bit of a challenge communication wise as well. Sometimes I'm sitting there screaming at a camera, repeating myself for the 5th time because the signal's bad or the audio is poor, and it's, yeah, it can get a little much. But I still have students that love the online lessons, find them more effective than in-person lessons. They're on their own kit, in their own space, they're most comfortable, you know, so there's a lot of positives there. The reason I wanted to talk to you guys from this scenario instead of in the studio is because I just had this idea during that lesson and I really wanted to talk about it. I should probably say it right up front of the video. If you're having trouble with your timing on drum patterns, this one trick can help you fix that. And it sounds super simple, but it's play your long notes long. It's as simple as that. And it sounds like if you want to dig a hole, go down. It's like the most obvious thing in the world, but it is not obvious. And here's why. I had a particular 2-bar section written down here. It's bar 25 and 26 of Jump by Van Halen. I should have known. I'm sorry. It's on the grade 4 Trinity Rock and Pop syllabus. The year 2008 to the next time they bring out a syllabus, I guess. However, that 2-bar section was proving difficult, and here's the issue. You've got, I'll pop up the music on the screen there, but just I'll lift it forward here so I can see it. This is the start of the pre-chorus, the first 2 bars of the pre-chorus. You've got, I'm not really going to talk about what we're playing here, why that's a diamond-shaped ride. It's the bell of the ride. I'm not going to go into it. No, we're talking about rhythms here. Okay, so we've got what would Americans call that? A quarter note. It's actually called crotchets, guys. Just so you know, the people who invented the music, they call it crotchets. So just saying, like, maybe you shouldn't change things for no reason. Crotchets into quiver. And let me talk about another thing. Why is that a quarter note? Like, I get that there's 4 beats in a bar when it's 4/4, but like, come on, guys, it's a whole note. It's 1 beat. Don't call it a quarter when it's worth 1. That's like taking $1 and calling it a quarter and saying this is how we're gonna do money now. It just, sorry, that was a side note. It's a crotchet into 2 half notes, 2 quavers, into rhythmically 2 quavers, but it's 2 different voices. So you've got the crotchet on the hand and the quaver on the right hand and the quaver on the left hand, and then a crotchet. So rhythmically it's going to be 1, 2, and 3, and 4. That's the rhythm that we're looking for. What happens is when we're learning something for the first time, we put pressure on ourselves and our tempo. So we're likely to play it like this, where everything kind of becomes the same value note. It's just da 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 da. We have a whole note at the start of this bar, and we have a whole note at the end of this bar. If we hold back on our speed for all our whole notes, it will really encourage the rhythm to come out. Instead of it being everything just becomes a mush. If you really, really emphasize the length of your whole notes, of your crotchets, you'll get more about 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. Now, that might not have been perfectly in time. It may have wavered a little bit between the length of the whole and half notes. But we're just learning this section, okay? And I played that whole section. I played the whole pre-chorus for you there so you could hear the rhythm working out instead of just stopping on 2 bars. But practice it in small sections, in bite-sized pieces. You don't want to try and take on a whole piece in one go and then not know where all your mistakes were. The only way to fix your mistakes is to know where they were. So as we're counting through this, take a 2-bar phrase. So take 25 and 26 and be able to count it first without playing 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and as you're learning something for the first time, it's going to take a couple of milliseconds for each beat to kind of compute with your brain and transfer to your hands. So you want to make sure that you're allowing yourself to have that time by slowing down the whole notes. Now, as I said, it might not be perfect, but you will hear the pattern. The pattern will emerge much quicker, and being able to use your ears as well as your eyes to follow the music means you'll learn it twice as fast, basically. Some people are way stronger with their ears. It's really common in Ireland. A lot of Irish traditional music was passed down from generation to generation by ear. So if you could imagine one Irish traditional instrument is a tin whistle. It's an Irish whistle, and people would learn to play songs by listening to other musicians play them, and then they'll go and copy, basically listen, remember, and then go and practice and learn how to play it themselves. And what was happening was, from generation to generation and from player to player, there would be little inconsistencies, little changes. So there ended up being many different versions of the same songs, which is amazing. But the difference between that and civilizations isn't the word, generations, I don't know, man, English is hard, but the type of music that used sheet, like traditional music or classical music, that used sheet music, that stayed the same. It didn't change from player to player, from area to area, you know. So yeah, music is cool, and it's really useful. When I started playing drums first, I didn't read music. I was taught by ear, and then quickly was lucky enough to study under really great drummers that use sheet music. And the truth of the matter is, it was never really talked about as to how valuable sheet music would be. Really, it was just thought that, you know, if you're going to be a professional drummer, you're probably going to have to play in orchestras and large ensembles. They'll just give you sheet, and you have to learn it off, and you have to be able to do it on sight. Sight reading is super important. The truth of the matter is, the amount of big band stuff that I've done has been very little. I do know professional drummers, shout out to Chris, who play in big bands all over the world, and they're just handed sheet, but they're handed sheet and they go learn it. You know, nobody sits into a rehearsal without having learned their sheet. You know, nobody is like nobody. I'm sure there's some renegades, maverick renegades out there that are like, I'll do it in rehearsal, it'll be grand. But the vast majority of responsible drummers are not going to do that. So sheet music is important for that element of play. But it's also important for learning. Like, the music doesn't forget. Your brain does. You're human. Your brain forgets stuff on you all the time, and you don't have a whole lot of say in it. It just decides, well, I'm throwing that information away. And it can misremember as well. So you can think you're playing something correctly by memory, but you're not. You're getting a tiny little thing wrong. And the more you practice without anyone checking on that, the more you practice without looking at sheet music and checking that you're correct, the more you're learning it incorrectly, the harder you're going to make it for yourself to play it right. I'm kind of talking too much about it now. I'm waffling. But yeah, I just wanted to pop in and give one simple message, and that is, play your long notes long, bro. That's it. That's all you got to do. Just play those long notes long, and everything else will fall into place like a beautiful jigsaw. Don't know what I'm doing. Thanks for watching this far. If you have, you're a legend. Yeah. I don't know why I upload videos. Nobody cares. See you later. Bye.